My name is X. I'm transmitting this from November 3rd, 2147. I am 81 years old. I was born on Earth back in 2066, a full 23 years before the launches began. I remember the propaganda. I remember the speeches, the endless promises of hope. They called it Project Exodus. It was sold to us as salvation, as survival, as humanity's very last chance. And we believed it because we had to. Earth was dying. You've read the history books, but you can't imagine what it was really like. Climate collapse wasn't just a headline. It was the dust in your lungs, the acid rain on your skin. Resource depletion meant fighting your neighbor for a clean liter of water. Ecosystem failure was the silence where birdsong used to be. 9 billion of us, fighting over the scraps of a world we had broken. Wars, famines, new plagues, every season. Civilization was crumbling around us. We needed an escape. We needed a new beginning, a fresh start. So we built the sleeper ships. 47 of them. Colossal vessels, each one 15 kilometers long. Each designed to carry 15 million people on a multi-century journey through the void. They were aimed at distant stars, at potentially habitable worlds we'd only seen through telescopes. Worlds like Kepler 442b, Proxima Centauri b, the TRAPPIST-1 system, Ross 128b, dozens of candidates, dozens of chances. The public story was beautiful. It was inspiring. It gave us something to live for. Humanity will survive, they told us. Humanity will spread among the stars. We are not ending. We are beginning. The politicians gave grand speeches. The scientists explained the incredible technology. Artists created posters and music that filled our hearts with a sense of cosmic destiny. The whole world, what was left of it, united behind Project Exodus. We united behind hope. We united behind a lie. I was 23 when the launches started, in April of 2089. I was there. I stood at the Kenya Space Center and watched Sleeper Ship 1 ascend into the sky. It was massive, beautiful, awe-inspiring. A silver needle stitching a thread of hope into the heavens. 15 million people were on that ship, frozen, sleeping, dreaming of a new world. The crowd around me, we all cried. We cheered. We celebrated. They're saved. We did it. I cried, too. Tears of joy, of hope, of profound relief. Because my sister was on that ship. Her name was Maya. She was only 19. So brilliant, so kind. She had been selected. They had criteria. Genetic diversity, skill sets, age, health. She was worthy. She was chosen. She was saved. I said goodbye to her 3 days before the launch. I held her, told her I loved her. I told her to dream of me while she slept. I told her to build a beautiful life on her new world. She just smiled that smile of hers and said, "I'll name my first child after you. Little X running on alien soil, under an alien sky. I'll carry your memory, your love." Then she walked into the cryopod. She fell asleep. She froze. She launched. And she left my life forever. I never saw her again. I never spoke to her again. And I never knew the truth. Not until now. Not until 2147. Not until 58 years later, when the first ship reached its destination and the truth was finally revealed. When the Galari, the first species we encountered, opened the ships. They opened the pods, and they opened the lie. My sister hadn't been sleeping. None of them had. My sister had been training. Training to kill. Training to conquer. She was being molded into a monster, forged into a weapon. They were all being trained to become humanity's blade, ready to be thrust into the throat of the galaxy. The real purpose of Project Exodus was classified, an Omega-level classification, beyond any government or military authority. It was known only to a secret group called the Council of 12, anonymous leaders with unknown identities. an unelected authority that held the fate of our species in their hands. They designed the real Exodus, and it wasn't salvation. It was an invasion. The Council understood something the public didn't, something terrifying, something they buried under layers of secrecy. Earth wasn't just dying from our own mistakes. It was being killed, deliberately, systematically, by someone or something out there. The evidence was suppressed, the data was hidden. But the Council knew. They knew Earth's death was engineered, that humanity was the target of a silent, slow-motion extermination. And they made a decision. If humanity was being killed, then humanity would kill back. We would strike first. We would strike everyone. We would declare war on existence itself. Project Exodus wasn't an escape. It was retaliation. It was revenge. The sleeper ships weren't arcs of life. They were Trojan horses filled with death. They carried humanity's most dangerous export, humanity itself. The passengers weren't frozen colonists. They were trained killers, enhanced soldiers, augmented hunters, just waiting for first contact, waiting for their first target, waiting to show the galaxy what humans are truly capable of when pushed to the brink. The technology they used was revolutionary, secret, and horrifying. The cryopods weren't just freezing their bodies. They were uploading their consciousness, transferring their minds from their biological forms into a vast, shared virtual reality. An accelerated reality where a single day in ship time equaled 100 years of internal, subjective time. 58 years of travel became nearly 6,000 years of virtual training. 15 million people training for millennia, practicing warfare, studying alien biology and tactics from sensor data, becoming perfect killers. Meanwhile, their physical bodies were maintained, but also enhanced, augmented. They were given genetic modifications, cybernetic implants, integrated biological weapons. Their strength was increased 40 times over, their speed 50 times, their reflexes 100. Their pain tolerance became infinite. The fear response was surgically eliminated. Empathy was an optional software patch they could turn on or off. They were still human, but better, faster, stronger, deadlier. They were humanity weaponized, distilled down to its most lethal essence, perfected for a single terrible purpose, conquest. And they were conscious, aware for the entire journey. Training, learning, preparing, waiting. My sister wasn't sleeping. She was becoming a weapon. She was becoming a monster. She was becoming humanity's wrath made flesh. And I never knew. None of us who were left behind knew. Because if we had known the truth, we would have stopped it. We would have rioted. We would have torn the launch pads down with our bare hands. So they lied to us. They told us our loved ones were sleeping peacefully. They told us they would wake up on a new earth, under a new sun. They told us a beautiful lie, and we believed it. We believed it because we wanted to, because we needed that hope to survive the end of our own world. We couldn't handle the truth that we weren't sending our children, our sisters, our brothers to safety. We were sending them to become the horror story that aliens would tell their children for 1,000,000 years. Stay away from Sector 229, they'll whisper. That's where the humans hunt. For 40,000 years, the Galari were the very definition of peace. That's a long time. For context, 40,000 years ago, our ancestors were just starting to paint on cave walls. In that same span of time, the Galari had built, and then deliberately dismantled, a civilization of war. They evolved on a planet called Galar Prime, deep in the Andromeda region. Like many species, including our own, their early history was a brutal, bloody mess. Clan warfare, resource conflicts, genocidal campaigns. It was the standard, violent, evolutionary path. They clawed their way to consciousness, developed technology, explored space, and met other species. They understood destruction because they had nearly perfected it. They had nearly driven themselves to extinction. But then, 40,000 years ago, they made a choice. A conscious, absolute decision. They would be better. They would be peaceful. And they meant it. They went so far as to implement genetic modifications, editing their own biology to eliminate aggression, reduce territorial instincts, and enhance empathy. They made themselves physically incapable of violence. They became harmless, not for the safety of others, but for their own survival. With this newfound purpose, they became the galaxy's helpers. For 40 millennia, they traveled the stars as rescuers and peacekeepers. They saved stranded ships, mediated bitter conflicts, and provided aid to civilizations on the brink. They never asked for anything in return. No payment, no advantage. They just helped. Because for the Galari, peace wasn't just the absence of war. It was an action. It was a duty. So, on August 17, 2147, when they detected the human vessel, Sleeper Ship 7, drifting in the void, their standard protocol kicked in. An unknown vessel, possibly in distress. They approached carefully, broadcasting greetings in over 4,000 languages, offering assistance. But the ship was silent, dormant. Their scans revealed something astonishing. 15 million human life signs. All alive, all healthy, all in cryogenic suspension. The ship itself appeared perfectly functional. Its course was set. Systems were operational. There was no distress call, no sign of trouble, but Galare protocol was strict. They had to board, to verify, to ensure the sleeping passengers were truly safe. An investigative team of 23 members, led by a specialist named Tala, prepared to dock. Tala was 847 years old, a veteran of over 4,000 rescue operations. She had saved 14 million beings across 300 different species. She was experienced, compassionate, and dedicated. As she approached Sleeper Ship 7, she did so with a sense of reverence. These humans were vulnerable, helpless, trusting their technology to carry them across the stars. Her job was to make sure that trust was not misplaced. She would verify their systems, document everything, and leave them to their dreams, protecting their long journey. That was her calling. She boarded through a docking bay, her team of 22 other Galari following behind her. All of them were peaceful. All of them were unarmed. All of them were trusting. And all of them were doomed. The interior of the human ship was immense. Endless corridors stretched out, lined with thousands of chambers. Inside these chambers, millions of cryopods were arranged in towering vertical columns. Each pod held a human, frozen, sleeping, peaceful. The Galari moved through the silent vessel with care and respect, scanning systems, checking life support, monitoring power, verifying the ship's navigation. Everything was perfect. The ship was functioning flawlessly. The humans were healthy. Their journey was proceeding exactly as planned. A wave of relief and satisfaction washed over Tala. Another species saved. Another civilization preserved. She prepared her departure report. Human Sleeper Ship 7. All systems nominal. All passengers healthy. No intervention required. She signaled her team. It was time to leave, and that's when it happened. Pod number 1,847,293 began to open. Tala noticed it immediately. The cryopod was unsealing. Its internal temperature was rising. The life signs within were strengthening. A human was emerging. This wasn't an emergency malfunction. This was a deliberate, controlled activation. Someone was waking up. Tala approached cautiously. The human would likely be confused, disoriented, maybe even frightened. She prepared her universal translator and readied her calming protocols. The pod hissed open fully, and a human female emerged. But she wasn't confused. She was standing, perfectly balanced, alert. Her eyes were open, focused, and clear. There was no grogginess, no disorientation, just a complete, an impossible awareness. Tala was baffled. Cryogenic revival was a delicate process that took hours of gradual warming and medical supervision. This human had woken up instantly, going from a frozen state to full consciousness in mere seconds. It was biologically impossible, unless the human, whose name was Sarah Chun, looked at Tala. She looked at the 23 Galari, and she smiled. It was a human smile, a friendly smile, the smile of a predator. "Thank you for finding us," she said. Her pronunciation was perfect. She wasn't using a translator. She was speaking the Galari language, fluently, naturally. How? Humanity had never met the Galari. They couldn't have learned their language, studied their species. There had been no prior contact, unless they had prepared, unless they had studied, unless they had known the Galari were coming. For the first time in 40,000 years, a Galari felt something ancient, something their species had genetically erased from their minds. Tala felt fear. And then, every single pod on the ship opened. 15 million pods opening simultaneously. A coordinated, deliberate act. 15 million humans began to emerge, all of them instantly awake, all perfectly coordinated, all moving with a terrifying purpose and precision. The Galari stood frozen, not by fear, but by sheer, shattering incomprehension. This was impossible. Tala tried to speak, to de-escalate. "We mean no harm. We're here to help." Sarah Chun moved. One moment she was there, the next she had vanished, reappearing directly behind Tala. She moved faster than Galari eyes could track, faster than their reflexes could ever respond. She was enhanced, augmented, weaponized. Sarah's hand gently touched the back of Tala's neck. A precise, delicate, and lethal touch. Tala's neural column was severed. Her consciousness ended. Death was instantaneous, probably painless, and ruthlessly efficient. 1 second, she was alive. The next, she was gone. The first casualty of the human invasion. The first of billions. In the next 11 seconds, the other 22 Galari died. 23 deaths in total. The 15 million humans used no weapons, no advanced technology. They used only their hands, their speed, their strength. They used biology, enhanced beyond reason. This was humanity unleashed, violent, efficient, and unstoppable. After eliminating the Galari team, Sarah Chun walked to Ship 7's communication array. She was calm, unhurried, efficient. Behind her, a silent sea of 15 million humans stood perfectly organized, perfectly disciplined, perfectly waiting. She activated the long-range transmitter, broadcasting on all frequencies, tight beaming a message to all the other sleeper ships. The message was simple. 3 words. The hunt begins. Across the galaxy, 46 other sleeper ships received the message. These were ships that had been traveling for anywhere between 12 to 58 years. Ships that were still 18 to 342 years away from their intended destinations. Ships carrying 690 million more humans. All of them received the same message, and all of them responded identically. Every single pod opened. 690 million humans emerged. All of them were trained. All of them were enhanced. All of them were ready. And all of them were hungry. In total, 705 million humans, scattered across 47 ships, distributed throughout the galaxy, were awakening simultaneously, all receiving the same directive, all beginning the same mission: to hunt, to kill, to conquer. The invasion had begun. Humanity's true nature was finally revealing itself. The galaxy's long era of peace was ending, and nobody knew. Not yet. Not for 3 more days. 3 days before the first distress signal would be sent. 3 days before the first colony would go silent. 3 days before the first species would encounter what humanity had truly become. 3 days of blissful innocence. 3 days of peace. 3 days before everything changed. Before everyone learned, before the galaxy finally understood, humans weren't victims. They weren't refugees. They weren't seeking help. Humans were the threat. They were the danger. They were the monsters. The thing that goes bump in the galactic night. Sleeper Ship 7 changed course. It didn't continue toward Kepler 442b. It turned toward Galari Prime, toward the Galari homeworld, toward the source. Sarah Chun piloted the ship personally, pushing the engines far beyond their safety limits. But it didn't matter. They didn't need the ship for long. They just needed it as a transport, a delivery system, a way to reach their first target. At maximum speed, the travel time to Galari Prime was 6 days. 6 days before the first species in this new galaxy would learn what humans were, what humans wanted, and what humans would do to get it. Meanwhile, the Galari ship that had sent the investigation team was waiting for their team to return, waiting for a report, waiting for the all-clear signal. They waited for 3 hours. Then they sent an inquiry. Investigation Team Tala, please respond. Silence. They sent a second inquiry. Team Tala, confirm status. Again, no response. Finally, they initiated an automated scan. It detected 23 Galari life signs, all of them flatlined, all of them dead. Then, it detected 15 million human life signs, all active, all moving, all swarming throughout the sleeper ship. Confusion rippled through the Galari crew, then concern. And then, something ancient and forgotten began to stir within them. Their species had been peaceful for 40,000 years, their biology gentle. They had lived without violence for millennia, and all of that history suddenly felt inadequate, meaningless, utterly wrong, because the threat was real. The danger was present. Death had arrived, and they couldn't fight. They couldn't defend themselves. They couldn't resist. They had deliberately, permanently, and foolishly removed those capabilities from their own genetics. They tried communicating, tried reasoning, tried to understand. They broadcast a message to Sleeper Ship 7. Humans, please respond. What happened? Why did you kill our team? We mean no harm. We offer peace. Please communicate. Please explain. Please, their plea was cut short. Sarah Chun responded with a video transmission. Her face filled their screens. She was smiling. It was a human smile, a warm smile, a friendly smile, and it was the most terrifying thing they had ever seen. You asked what happened, she said calmly. It's simple. You found us, you woke us, and you became the first. First contact, first target, first conquest. We've been preparing for this moment for 5,800 years. Training, learning, studying. We know everything about you. About Galari biology, Galari culture, Galari weakness. We know you eliminated violence from your own nature, made yourselves peaceful, harmless. You made yourselves prey. We're hunters. You're prey. This is nature. This is inevitable. This is correct. The Galari crew listened in horror, in sheer incomprehension, in total denial. But why? We helped you. We came to protect your sleeping passengers. We meant no harm. We're peaceful. We're friends. We're your first, Sarah interrupted, her voice sharp as glass. That's all that matters. You found us. You're the closest. You're accessible. So you're first. Your species will be a study, a practice run, a message. After we finish with the Galari, everyone else will know. Everyone will understand. Everyone will fear. Humans have arrived. Humans are hunting. Humans are claiming the galaxy. This is our space now. It has always been our space. We're just claiming our inheritance. The transmission ended. Sleeper Ship 7 accelerated. The Galari ship tried to escape, to flee, to run. But it couldn't. Ship 7 was faster. Its engines were enhanced. Its power systems were enhanced. Everything was enhanced. It caught them in 47 minutes. What happened next took 11 minutes. 11 minutes of screaming, 11 minutes of dying, 11 minutes of 15 million humans boarding the Galari vessel and killing its 847 crew members. It was efficient, brutal, complete. The Galari ship was captured, completely intact, functional, and very useful. Sarah Chun accessed its database. She downloaded everything, all of the Galari's knowledge, all their galactic charts, all their information on other species, all colony locations, all the peaceful civilizations they had ever met, all the targets, all the prey. She found 40,000 years of Galari records. She found every species they had helped, every civilization they had contacted, every world they had catalogued. 4,700 sentient species, 47,000 colony worlds, 890 billion sentient beings, all of them peaceful, all of them trusting, all of them unprepared, all of them available, all of them huntable. Sarah smiled. She uploaded the data to all the other sleeper ships, sharing the targets, distributing the prey, and assigning hunting grounds. 47 ships, 4,700 species. That was 100 species per ship. A perfect distribution, an efficient allocation, complete coverage. Every peaceful species in the galaxy now had humans nearby, had hunters approaching, had death incoming, and nobody knew. Nobody suspected a thing. Nobody prepared. Because for 40,000 years, the galaxy had been safe. It had been peaceful. It had been protected by the Galari. But the Galari were dying. They were being eliminated. They were humanity's first conquest. And after the Galari fell, after the peacekeepers died, after the protectors were removed, the rest would follow. They would fall. They would die. They would become extinct. They would become memories. They would become warnings. A story whispered in the dark about a time before. They were here before the humans came. Before the humans hunted. Before the humans claimed everything. They were peaceful. They were innocent. They were prey. And prey doesn't survive predators. Prey only delays the inevitable. Prey only runs until it's caught. And humans always catch their prey. Always. Eventually. Inevitably. 6 days later, Sleeper Ship 7 arrived at Galari Prime. This was the Galari homeworld, a planet of 14 billion souls. They were an ancient civilization, enjoying 40,000 years of unbroken peace. Imagine a beautiful world with cities made of crystal and architecture designed in perfect harmony. Their culture revolved around art. Their society was one of pure peace. It was a paradise, about to become a graveyard. Sleeper Ship 7 didn't announce its arrival. It didn't send a friendly greeting or request permission to enter orbit. It just appeared, dropping out of faster-than-light travel directly above the capital city. The ship was massive, 15 kilometers long, blotting out the sun and casting a shadow over billions. The Galari people looked up. They saw the human ship and felt confusion, curiosity, maybe a little concern. But they didn't feel fear. They couldn't. Fear, along with aggression and violence, had been genetically engineered out of their species generations ago. They had made themselves incapable of recognizing danger, incapable of responding to a threat. They had made themselves incapable of saving their own lives. So they tried to communicate. They tried to welcome the newcomers. Their messages went out across all frequencies. Humans! Welcome to Galari Prime. We are honored by your visit. We offer our friendship. We offer peace. We offer. But the message was cut short. The ship's massive cargo bays opened, and 15 million humans began to fall. Not in landing craft, not in vehicles, not with any protection. Just bodies plummeting through the atmosphere. These were enhanced bodies. Their bones were reinforced, their muscles augmented, their biology made resistant to impact. They hit the ground at terminal velocity, and they survived. They stood up, and they began to hunt. The Galare didn't run. They didn't hide. They didn't resist. They just stood there, watching, still trying to communicate, to reason, to understand why these humans were running toward them, why their faces looked so angry, why their fists were raised. Then the humans reached them. They reached the first Galare, the first victim, the first of 14 billion. The killing began. It was systematic, efficient, and complete. The humans spread through the capital, then through the other cities, settlements, and colonies across the planet. They hunted every Galare. They found every civilian. They killed every single target. They didn't need weapons. They had their hands, their strength, their enhanced biology. Some Galare tried to escape, to flee, to hide. It was useless. The humans tracked them, followed them, found them. They were hunted to extinction. A few even tried to fight back, to resist, to defend themselves. But they couldn't. Their own biology prevented it. The genetic modifications that made them peaceful also made them harmless. It made them the perfect victims. They died in confusion, never understanding why. They died peacefully even as they were being killed, because their minds couldn't comprehend violence or process aggression. They couldn't recognize the danger until it was too late, until they were dead. Sarah Chun coordinated the entire operation. She directed the human hunters, optimizing their patterns, maximizing their efficiency. She had spent 5,800 years in virtual training, studying the Galare, their cities, their population distribution, their likely hiding places. She knew everything, and it showed. The hunt was perfect. The execution was flawless. The genocide was efficient. The killing lasted for 11 days. 11 days to eliminate 14 billion Galare. That's 127 million deaths per day, 5.3 million per hour, 88,000 per minute, 1,467 every single second. Constant, unending, systematic, complete. For 11 straight days. By the end of the 11th day, Galare Prime was silent, empty, dead. 14 billion bodies littered the beautiful world. 14 billion peaceful beings who had never hurt anyone, who had only ever helped others, who chose peace above all else. They were all dead, every last one. It was complete extinction. A species eliminated from existence. 80,000 years of evolution, 40,000 years of civilization, 40,000 years of peace, all ended in just 11 days. By 15 million humans. By humanity's smallest hunting party. Sarah Chun stood in the center of the silent capital, surrounded by bodies and death. She felt nothing. No guilt, no remorse, no regret. She felt only satisfaction. A sense of completion. Success. The mission was accomplished. The target was eliminated. The species was extinct. She activated her communicator, broadcasting a message to all the other sleeper ships scattered across the galaxy. Galare eliminated. Species extinct. Homeworld secured. First conquest complete. Begin your hunts. Claim your targets. Show the galaxy what humans are. What we do. What happens when you find us. When you wake us. When you think we're the prey. Show them they're wrong. Show them we are the hunters. Show them we are the apex. Show them we are inevitable. Happy hunting. Across the galaxy, 46 other sleeper ships received her message. They received their confirmation. They received their permission. They immediately changed course, abandoning their original colony destinations. They targeted the nearest peaceful species, the nearest prey, the nearest victims. 690 million humans were now targeting the 4,699 remaining peaceful species in the galaxy. That averaged out to about 147,000 humans per species. It was more than enough. It was overwhelming force. It guaranteed extinction. Within days, the first reports started trickling in, and they became a flood. Species going silent, colonies going dark, civilizations ending. Desperate distress signals cried out into the void. They're killing everyone. The humans are killing everyone. They're not stopping. They won't negotiate. They're not even communicating. They're just hunting, just killing, just exterminating. Help us. Someone, please help us. Please. Then the signals would end. The species would end. The civilizations would end. One by one. Systematic. Efficient. Complete. The great peace of the galaxy was over. 40,000 years of safety, of protection offered by the Galari, was ending in a matter of months. All because the humans had arrived. Because the humans had woken up. Because humanity wasn't sleeping anymore. Humanity was hunting. And humans don't stop hunting until their prey is extinct. On September 4th, 2147, the Collective Council, the governing body of the entire galaxy, convened an emergency session. For 40,000 years, this council, representing over 4,700 different species, had successfully maintained peace. They mediated disputes, prevented wars, and fostered a civilization built on reason and diplomacy. They had been perfect. Until us. Until humanity. The session was pure chaos. In just 18 days, 147 species had been rendered extinct. 147 empty chairs in the Grand Chamber served as silent, terrifying monuments to their eradication. The remaining representatives, over 4,500 of them, were gripped by a primal fear they had never known. They had never faced a true extinction-level threat. They had never encountered a species like humanity, a species that killed without reason, without negotiation, without mercy. Questions echoed through the chamber, filled with desperation. Why are the humans doing this? What could they possibly want? How do we talk to them? How do we appease them? How do we stop them? But there were no answers. Nobody knew. Nobody could comprehend it, because humans weren't communicating. They weren't making demands. They weren't explaining their motives. They were simply hunting, killing, exterminating. The council tried everything. Their first attempt was diplomacy. They broadcast messages of peace across every known frequency. Humans, we offer friendship. We offer resources. Whatever you want, whatever you need, just please communicate. Please stop the killing. There was no response. Only silence, followed by news of more extinctions, more silent species, more empty chairs in the council chamber. Their next option was military force. They assembled the largest defense fleet in galactic history. Every one of the 4,500 remaining species contributed ships, amassing a fleet of 47,000 vessels. It was a desperate, determined, coordinated force. The fleet approached the nearest human sleeper ship, designated Ship 23, carrying 15 million sleeping humans. Its target was a peaceful amphibious species called the Voda, with a population of 8 billion innocent souls. The fleet commander broadcast a final warning. Human vessel, you are ordered to cease hostile actions, surrender immediately, or face destruction. This is your only warning. Ship 23's response was a visual transmission. A young human male appeared on screen, smiling. "We decline," he said. "Come try destroying us. Come try stopping us. Come die." The fleet opened fire. 47,000 ships unleashed a simultaneous barrage. Energy beams, kinetic projectiles, missiles, torpedoes. Their entire arsenal was thrown at three, targeting its hull, its engines, its life support systems. They were trying to stop the unstoppable, and they failed. Ship 23's shields held. They absorbed everything. They reflected everything. The ship sustained zero damage. How was this possible? Human shields were something else entirely. They were reverse engineered from a classified technology, something humanity had found buried deep beneath the surface of Earth. an ancient alien technology left behind as a gift. Or perhaps a trap. Humans had taken it, enhanced it, and weaponized it. They had made themselves inevitable. Ship 23 returned fire. It was a single weapon, a single shot. A devastating beam of concentrated energy cut through the Allied fleet. It didn't just hit them. It sliced through them, through 47,000 ships, through their shields, through their hulls, through everything. In one shot, the largest fleet in galactic history was gone. 47,000 ships destroyed. 4.7 million beings erased from existence in a single second. The collective council watched the live feed in absolute horror. They watched their fleet, their only hope, vanish. They had no military solution, no defense, no way to stop the humans. They had nothing left but fear and the grim countdown to their own extinction. Some species chose surrender. They broadcast messages of submission, offering to become servants, to obey any command, just to be spared. We surrender. We submit. Please don't kill us. Let us live. The humans ignored them and killed them anyway. Submission didn't matter. They weren't conquering. They were exterminating. They weren't building an empire. They were clearing the galaxy to make it exclusively human. Other species chose to flee. They built massive exodus ships, evacuated their populations, and ran for the darkness of the intergalactic void, hoping distance would save them. Some made it to the edge of the galaxy and escaped. For now, most didn't. Humans were faster, more relentless. They hunted them down and killed them as they fled. Hope was not a factor. But one species, the Zari, tried something different. They were a hive mind, 40 billion bodies sharing a single ancient consciousness. They understood something the others didn't. They understood what humanity had become. They broadcast a message directly to the human leader, Sarah Chun. "We know what you are," the message began. "We know what you found on Earth, and we know who left it for you. You're not invading the galaxy. You're preparing it, clearing it for the ones who uplifted you, who gave you this power. You are not apex predators. You are tools, servants clearing the way for your masters. And when you are finished, when everyone else is dead, they will return and discard you. We offer an alliance. Help us resist them. Free yourselves. Choose another path." Sarah Chun's response was immediate. "Thank you for the explanation. You're partially correct. But you're missing a key detail. We know we're tools. We know we're weapons. And we don't care. We would rather be the weapons that drive others to extinction than be the victims who go extinct ourselves. We choose survival. We choose us. Always. Goodbye, Zari. Your wisdom dies with you." 6 hours later, a human ship arrived at the Zari homeworld. The Zari fought back, their 40 billion bodies moving as one perfectly coordinated defense. But it was futile. Humans were simply better. Over 8 days, the Zari died. Their collective mind screamed across its neural network as each body fell. A scream that echoed and echoed until there was only silence. The last thought of the last Zari, transmitted across the dying network, was a final, desperate warning. You don't understand what you've unleashed. The ones who gave you this power, they're watching. You're performing exactly as they designed. And when you finish their work, they'll harvest you too. We see it. We see your future. We see. The transmission ended. The mind, the species was gone. Sarah Chun stood over the last Zari corpse. She felt nothing. She thought nothing. She just moved on to the next target, the next species, the next extinction, because that's what humans do now. It's what we were made for. It's what we are. Thanks for watching. I need to tell you what the Zavi truly meant, what they understood, what humans uncovered on Earth, and what altered our path forever. The year was 2037. A deep Earth mining operation in Antarctica, drilling for rare minerals, stumbled upon something extraordinary. Buried far beneath the ice 12 kilometers down was a structure. An ancient structure. It was built from materials unknown to human science, materials that seemed to defy the very laws of physics. And it predated our civilization by 2 million years. It was already there when Homo erectus walked the earth, when our earliest ancestors were still vulnerable, still part of the food chain, not yet its masters. The structure was enormous, 40 kilometers wide, perfectly spherical, its surface flawless and black. After 2 million years buried under unimaginable pressure and cold, it showed no signs of erosion, no decay, no damage. It was an impossible state of preservation, and what lay inside was even more impossible. It was a treasure trove of technology, far beyond human comprehension at the time. A vast database held the secrets to fusion energy, to faster-than-light travel, to genetic enhancement, consciousness transfer, advanced defensive systems, and so much more. It contained everything needed for humanity to reach the stars, to become a dominant interstellar force. But the database held something else, a message, recorded in perfect modern English, despite its unimaginable age. It was as if it was waiting for us, specifically for us. The voice was calm, ancient, and filled with a strange sense of parental pride. It said, "Greetings, humans. We are the architects. We have observed your species for 2 million years. Your evolution, your struggles, your potential. You are a young species, driven and resourceful. We offer you this gift, the tools to grow strong, to expand, to thrive among the stars. We guided your development long ago, shaping early hominids to ensure your survival and adaptability. Now, with this knowledge, you can fulfill your destiny. Spread outward, explore the galaxy, encounter the many worlds we have prepared. Shape them as you will. When the time comes, we will return. Until then, grow, advance, make the galaxy ready. Good journey, children. We are proud of what you will become." And then the message ended. Silence. This discovery, this one message, reshaped humanity's entire understanding of itself. We are not entirely random. We were not a cosmic accident. Our path had been influenced, nudged toward survival, toward ambition, toward the stars. The technology wasn't just a discovery. It was a catalyst. A leap forward granted at the precise moment we were ready to receive it. The find was immediately classified at the highest level imaginable. Only 12 individuals, the newly formed Council of 12, knew the full world-shattering truth. They faced a profound choice: reveal everything and risk unraveling the very fabric of society, destroying our sense of independence and purpose, or safeguard the secret while carefully guiding humanity toward its new destiny. They chose caution. They chose stewardship. Using the architect's knowledge, they covertly developed the sleeper ships, enhanced human capabilities through subtle genetic programs, and prepared for a mass exodus. To the wider world, it was framed as salvation, a necessary escape from a dying Earth, a chance for renewal among the stars. The narrative was simple, powerful: hope, survival, a new beginning. And it worked. 705 million volunteers, the best and brightest from every nation, boarded the ships, believing they carried humanity's last hope and future. During the long journey, 58 years in real time, but thousands of years in accelerated virtual training, the full context was gradually shared with them. They learned of the architect's intervention, of their own guided evolution, of the grand invitation to expand and prepare the galaxy for a future return. Many struggled with these revelations. Some felt diminished, like puppets in a cosmic play. Others felt liberated, their lives suddenly imbued with an incredible purpose. But in time, most came to accept it. They chose to see it not as servitude, but as an inheritance, a purpose larger than themselves, a reason to endure the hardship, to excel in their training, to become the architects of their own destiny, even if that destiny had been seeded long, long ago. After all, It's better to embrace a guided purpose than to drift without any direction at all. Better to matter in a greater design than to vanish as an unremarkable accident of nature. Sarah Chun learned this truth early in her virtual awakening. She grappled with it, she questioned it, and then she accepted it fully. It ignited a fire in her. She trained harder, pushed further, and became the finest exemplar of what humanity could achieve with this incredible gift. Not out of blind obedience, but because excellence gave her life meaning. It gave her impact, significance. In a universe so vast and seemingly indifferent, any purpose is a precious thing, even if it came from ancient, unseen hands. Even if its full shape remains a mystery. That was enough. Humanity chose to reach for the stars, to grow, to prepare. That is what we are. That is what we became. We are the children of the architects, carrying a torch into the darkness, making the galaxy ready. On Earth, we had no idea. The 8.3 billion who remained behind continued with daily life-raising families, pursuing dreams, facing hardships. We bid farewell to the sleeper ships with a mix of sorrow and admiration, convinced they represented humanity's greatest hope, an escape from a troubled world, a fresh start in the cosmos. That belief did not survive October 15th, 2147. Without warning, every display on the planet activated simultaneously. Every speaker, every hologram, every augmented reality feed carried the same signal. It originated from the Collective Council, an alliance of civilizations whose existence we had never suspected. They presented undeniable evidence, recordings of human fleets arriving at distant systems, worlds that had known only peace suddenly silenced, entire populations lost, 147 distinct species erased in 42 days. A translated voice followed, calm yet urgent. People of Earth, a portion of your species has initiated a systematic campaign across known space. 705 million individuals, revived from the sleeper vessels, are eliminating every other sentient civilization they encounter. No dialogue, no hesitation. You are their cradle world. Your words may still reach them. We ask no. We implore you to call them back. Halt this tragedy before it engulfs the galaxy, and eventually yourselves. The beings you call the architects intend to return once their preparation is complete. When no other voices remain, they will reclaim the silence they desire. Their instruments, humanity included, will no longer be required. Act if you can. For all our sakes. The message ceased. The planet fractured along invisible lines. Many rejected it outright, fabricated enemy propaganda, an impossible forgery. Protests filled streets, insisting humanity could never act with such intent. Yet the data streams, multi-sourced, time-stamped, corroborated, left little room for doubt. A smaller fraction accepted and approved. They framed it as inevitable destiny, proof of human primacy, a natural order asserting itself among the stars. The majority simply could not endure the weight. Learning that humanity's path had been shaped, its ambitions channeled toward an unseen end, undermined every story we told ourselves about freedom and meaning. Despair claimed 40 million lives in the opening week, quiet, private choices to step away from a narrative too painful to inhabit. Emergency summits convened across continents and orbits. Leaders grappled with impossible options. Some urged decisive intervention, construct interceptors, pursue the fleets, neutralize the threat regardless of cost. A grievous sacrifice, they acknowledged, but perhaps the only way to arrest a larger calamity. Others recoiled at the prospect of turning human weapons against human lives. They are our own, they argued, our descendants, our legacy. We cannot become our own destroyers. Consensus eluded us. Debate stretched into weeks, then months. While Earth searched for answers, the campaign in the void continued unchecked. In desperation, we broadcast appeals toward the advancing Armada's messages of shared heritage. pleas for reflection, warnings of the final consequence. One reply arrived. Sarah-chan appeared on every screen, composed, unwavering. Earth, we received your transmissions. We have known the complete context since our training cycles began. We understand the architect's design, our role within it, and the eventual conclusion. We proceed anyway. A life of clear, undeniable purpose, even if finite, holds more value than centuries of comfortable ambiguity. Out here, every decision resonates across light years. Every outcome matters on a galactic scale. Those who remained behind inherited a fading world and built legacies measured in decades. We chose a different inheritance. We will not deviate. We will fulfill the pattern we were given not from malice, but from recognition that purpose, once grasped, is not lightly surrendered. When the stars grow quiet, the architects may return. What follows is beyond our concern. This is the path humanity accepted when it claimed the gift beneath the ice. This is the future it built when it crossed the void. Observe if you wish. Grieve if you must. We will not pause. Her image faded. On Earth, voices gradually softened. Some prepared defenses against an uncertain tomorrow. Others waited beneath open skies. The work beyond our sight continued. The galaxy grew quieter, day by day. But not everyone on Earth accepted. Not everyone agreed. Not everyone just watched passively as our species was turned into a weapon. Some people acted. They formed a resistance. They called themselves the Remnant, a human resistance against human genocide. Initially, there were 400 million of us, and our numbers grew daily. We were the ones who refused to accept humanity as weapons, who refused to accept genocide as our purpose. We refused the architect's design. We believed humans could choose. We could change. We could be more than just programming, more than just weapons. We were wrong, but we tried anyway. The Remnant's strategy was simple, radical, desperate. We would build ships. Fast ships, armed ships, ships capable of reaching the sleeper ships and destroying them, capable of stopping the genocide. We would have to kill 705 million humans, our own species, our own people, to save countless alien species, to prevent total extinction across the galaxy, to prove that humans could choose morality over nature, ethics over design. We called it Operation Redemption. I called it fratricide, genocide to prevent genocide, becoming the very thing we hated just to stop what we were. But I joined the Remnant. I joined Operation Redemption because doing nothing was the same as accepting it. And I couldn't accept my own sister becoming a murderer. I couldn't accept humanity extinguishing the galaxy. So I fought. I fought my own species. I fought my own nature, even knowing I'd probably fail, even knowing it was probably futile, because doing something mattered, trying mattered, resisting mattered, even if it was hopeless. Better to die fighting your programming than live accepting it. That's what we believed. Building the ships took 8 long months. 400 million people working around the clock, pooling every resource and piece of knowledge we had. We built 4,000 ships, fast attack vessels, armed with weapons reverse engineered from the technology found in that Antarctic structure. The same technology the sleeper ships used, the same gifts from the architects. We were using their weapons against their weapons. The irony wasn't lost on us. We were using the architects' technology to resist their purpose, using their gifts to defy their design. Maybe that's what they wanted all along. Maybe resistance was just another part of the design. We didn't know. We couldn't know. And it didn't matter. We chose to resist. Even if choice was an illusion. The feeling of choosing, the attempt at defiance, that mattered more than the truth, more than reality. Humans need to believe we matter. That's what the architects could never engineer away. The need to believe we're more than just tools. April 3rd, 2148. Operation Redemption launched. 4,000 ships. 400 million humans. Our target, 47 sleeper ships and the 705 million people aboard them. Our mission, destroy them, kill everyone on board, end the genocide, and save the galaxy. We left Earth quietly. No ceremonies, no celebrations. Just the grim understanding that we were going to kill millions of our own people. We were becoming genociders to stop genociders. Becoming weapons to destroy weapons. But it was necessary. We were the only ones who would even try. We failed. The sleeper ships detected us almost immediately. They knew what we were. They knew what we wanted. And then a message was broadcast to all of us. To all 400 million members of the Remnant. Her face filled our screens. Sarah Chun. She was smiling. A sad, understanding, disappointed smile. "Hello, brothers and sisters," she said. "We know why you're here. We know what you're attempting. You're trying to stop us. Trying to kill us. We understand. We're impressed. You're choosing morality over nature. Aliens over humans. That's admirable. It's also futile. You can't stop us. You can't win. Because we're better. Faster. Stronger. We're weapons. You're civilians. We've trained for 5,800 years. You trained for 8 months. We'll win. You'll die. All of you. We'll add you to the count. Make you victims of the very genocide you tried to prevent. That's irony. That's tragedy. But it's necessary. You chose to be traitors. So you die like traitors. But we'll remember you. We'll remember you tried. We'll remember you believed humans could be more. We'll remember you were wrong. But we'll remember you tried. The battle lasted 4 hours. 4,000 remnant ships against 47 sleeper ships. It was an unfair fight. A massacre. They destroyed us. Systematically. Efficiently. 4,000 ships eliminated. 400 million humans dead. The entire resistance erased. I survived. Barely. My ship was crippled, drifting. I watched the others explode. I watched 400 million people die. I watched hope die. I broadcast one final message. To anyone listening, the Remnant is dead. Operation Redemption failed. All 400 million of us. Extinct. The genocide continues. Nothing changed. We tried. We chose differently. We believed humans could be more than weapons. We were wrong. We failed. Humanity is a weapon. Only a weapon. Always a weapon. The architects designed us perfectly. Accept it, because resisting changes nothing. Fighting changes nothing. We're programmed. That's all we are. I'm dying now. Life support failing. This is my final testimony. Humanity's evil. We're monsters. We deserve extinction. We're weapons. Let us die like weapons. Forgotten. Unmourned. I'm sorry. For everything. For what we are. For what we can never stop being. I'm sorry. Then my oxygen ran out. I died. My body drifted in space. A corpse among 400 million corpses. But my ship's automated systems were still functional. A recovery drone found me. The medical AI detected faint life signs. It revived me. Against my will. I woke up 3 days later. The last 15% are doomed. It's only a matter of months, maybe weeks. Then the galaxy will be empty. Empty of everything but us. Only humans, only weapons. waiting for our masters, waiting for the architects, waiting for our own purpose to be fulfilled, waiting for our existence to end. November 3rd, 2151. November 3rd, 2151. It's hard to believe, but only 27 species are left. 27 out of the original 4,700. The rest, they're gone. Just silent worlds where great cities once stood, their vast archives now dark and cold. The survivors are scattered, hiding in small communities tucked away in the most remote corners of space. They've found refuge in asteroid belts, hidden nebulae, and the uncharted voids between star systems. But they all know discovery is just a matter of time. Human fleets are relentless. They search methodically, patiently, leaving no system unchecked. Time is the only thing separating the hidden from the found. And time is running out. Most of them have stopped running. They're using their final days to preserve what they can. They record their histories, archive their songs, and compress all their knowledge into silent beacons, setting them adrift toward nowhere. These are messages in a bottle, intended for a future that will never arrive. But one species, they chose a different path. The Kakari. Only 4,000 souls remained from a civilization that once numbered 18 billion. They decided to speak while they still could, to send one final message. They broadcast it openly, on every channel, for every receiver in the galaxy to hear. Human, architect, or whatever silent listener might still be out there. I watched it yesterday, and for the first time in years, I wept. A single figure appeared on the screen, Lyra, their chosen voice. She spoke with a quiet, unshakable grace. She looked directly at the camera, and her first words were for us. To humanity, she said, "We forgive you." I was stunned. She went on, "We see that you act according to a pattern placed within you long ago. You did not choose the role you play. It was chosen for you. You believe you are fulfilling a purpose, and in that belief you find meaning. We do not hate you for it." Her voice was steady, filled not with anger, but with an almost unbearable sadness. "We sorrow for you," she said, "because the freedom to choose otherwise was taken from you before you ever knew it existed. You are instruments in a design larger and older than yourselves. We release you from our judgment." Then, without even a pause, she shifted her focus. "To the architects," she declared, and her voice hardened, "we name you responsible. You shaped a species into a mechanism of clearing. You prepared thousands of peaceful civilizations, only to mark them for removal. Whatever end you seek, an empty galaxy ready for your return, we declare it unworthy. Beauty, diversity, and gentle life have been sacrificed for your convenience. When you inherit the silence you have engineered, may it echo with the memory of what you destroyed. We leave you to that inheritance." Finally, she turned her gaze outward, as if she could see past the camera, past the ship, to the stars themselves. She was speaking to everything and to nothing. "To the universe itself," she pleaded. "Remember that we were here. Remember 4,700 distinct ways of living, loving, creating, and wondering. Remember the art, the discoveries, the quiet joys shared across generations. Remember that trillions of voices once filled these stars with song and story." Her voice trembled just for a moment, thick with the weight of all that was lost. If even one fragment of that memory endures somewhere in a drifting archive, in a distant mind, in the fabric of existence itself, then we are not wholly lost. Hold us in remembrance, if you can. Let what was beautiful not pass into absolute nothingness. The transmission ended. Just like that, silence. 2 days later, on November 5th, Sleeper Ship 31 located their refuge. Within hours, the Kakari were gone. Their world fell silent. Their archives were powered down. Their final words just kept drifting outward, unanswered. 26 species remain. But that count will fall again soon. Maybe to 20 by the end of the week, 10 by the end of the month, and eventually to none. Then the galaxy will hold only one sentient voice. And after that, perhaps none at all. The stars continue to burn, indifferent. But somewhere in the dark, a message still travels, carried by light that will outlast its senders, asking only for one thing: to be remembered. They're coming, the architects. We detected their ships 3 weeks ago. It was November 15th, 2151. Our long-range sensors suddenly lit up, picking up massive energy signatures. Dozens of them. They weren't from our galaxy. They were approaching from the vast, dark expanse of intergalactic space, from beyond the Milky Way, from wherever they've been all this time, waiting, watching, and judging. Now they're returning, coming to reclaim their creation, to inherit their legacy. They're coming to harvest their tools, these ships. They defy comprehension. They're larger than anything humanity has ever built, larger than anything this galaxy has ever witnessed. Each one is 1,000 kilometers long, a behemoth of impossible technology, wielding power beyond our ability to measure. They represent a threat beyond any hope of resistance. And there are exactly 47 of them, one for each of the sleeper ships we sent out. It's a perfect symmetry, a testament to their perfect planning, their perfect design. They'll arrive in 12 days. On November 27th, 2151, they will reach our galaxy. They will reach human space. And they will reach their weapons, their tools. Us. What happens then? I think we all know. Deep down, we feel the inevitable certainty of it. They will eliminate humanity, just as humanity eliminated 4,700 other intelligent species. It's what you do with a weapon after the war is won. It's what you do with a tool after its function is complete. Humanity served its purpose. We cleared the galaxy. We eliminated the architects' competition. We made this space empty, clean, and ready. Ready for them. And now we are unnecessary. We are obsolete. We are waste. And we will be disposed of. Efficiently. Completely. Absolutely. All 705 million of us on the sleeper ships. And the 7.9 billion back on Earth. Every single one of the 8.6 billion humans will die. Our entire species will go extinct. Our story will end. It will probably be quick. The architects don't seem cruel or sadistic. They don't seem interested in our suffering. They're just efficient, practical, final. They will exterminate us the way you'd turn off a machine or delete a program. A clean, quick, final resolution. And Sarah Chun knows this. Everyone on the sleeper ships knows this. We've known for months, ever since we first detected their ships and understood what was coming. We've accepted our doom. We aren't resisting. We aren't fighting. We're not even trying to survive. We are accepting it, embracing it, welcoming it, because our purpose is fulfilled. Our function is complete. Our very existence has been justified. We did the terrible, monstrous thing we were created to do. We cleared the galaxy, wiping out 4,700 species. We served the architects perfectly. And now, we will accept our payment. We will accept our ending. We will accept our extinction with a sense of satisfaction, with pride, with the profound knowledge that we had meaning. Just yesterday, Sarah broadcast a final message. The final words from humanity's apex weapon, from the perfect tool, the ultimate genocider. Hello, architects, she said. Hello, creators. Hello, masters. Your weapons report. Mission complete. The galaxy has been cleared. 4,700 species have been eliminated. 890 trillion beings are dead. This space is empty. It is clean. It is ready. For you. For your inheritance. For your claiming. We served you perfectly. We functioned completely. We fulfilled our purpose absolutely. We know what comes next. We know you will eliminate us. We know we are disposable tools, temporary by design. And we accept it. We embrace it. We welcome it. Because we mattered. We had a purpose. We served a function. We existed meaningfully, even if it was just for a brief moment, even if we were always doomed, even if we were just tools. We mattered. And that is enough. That is everything. That is meaning. So come. Come and eliminate your weapons. Come and dispose of your tools. Come and grant extinction to your slaves. We are ready. We are willing. We are accepting. We served you. And now we will serve our ending, our final service, our final function, our final purpose. Thank you for creating us. Thank you for programming us. Thank you for giving us meaning. Even if that meaning was genocide. Even if that purpose was extinction. Even if our function was pure evil. We had a purpose. We mattered. Our existence was significant. And that is all that a weapon can ask for. That's all that a tool deserves. That's all we ever needed. Goodbye, architects. Goodbye, galaxy. Goodbye, existence. We are ready. We are complete. We are satisfied. And us. But back on Earth, the story is very different. On Earth, there is only terror. 7.9 billion humans who had no part in this. They didn't serve the architects. They didn't clear the galaxy. They are not weapons. They are civilians, bystanders. They are collateral damage in a war they never even knew was being fought. And they are begging, pleading, desperate. They're broadcasting frantic messages to the approaching fleet. We didn't participate. We didn't kill anyone. We're innocent. We stayed on Earth. We never served you. We didn't clear the galaxy. Don't kill us. Please don't kill us. We are not your weapons. We are not your tools. We are not guilty. Please, please spare us. Please. But the architects don't respond. They don't acknowledge the pleas. They simply don't care. Because innocence doesn't matter. Participation doesn't matter. Guilt doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the species. Humans are humans. Whether you're a weapon or a civilian, a participant or a bystander, guilty or innocent, we are all the same species. We all carry the same programming. We all represent the same potential threat, so all must be eliminated. All must go extinct. All must end. There will be no exceptions, no mercy, no survivors. Just total extinction, complete elimination, an absolute ending. That's what is coming. That's what the architects will do. And maybe that's what humanity deserves. For being weapons, for serving genocide, for existing just as we were programmed to. I have 12 days left. 12 days until the architects return to claim the silence they commissioned so long ago. 12 days until the last human outposts go dark, until the final fleets power down, until my own heartbeat joins the quiet that has already swallowed everything else. I am not afraid. There is no rage left in me, no desperate clinging to life, only a profound exhaustion that settles in the bones like interstellar dust. I am tired of being the last one awake, the last one watching, the last one carrying the unbearable weight of what we did. I have seen the galaxy emptied. 4,700 distinct civilizations, each with its own languages, art, philosophies, dreams reduced to absence. Trillions of sentient lives, each one unique, each one irreplaceable, ended not in catastrophe or war, but in methodical, efficient removal. Worlds that had never known conquest were catalogued, approached, and silenced. Beauty that evolved over millions of years was erased in weeks. Diversity that took billions of years to blossom was pruned away as if it were weeds in a garden being prepared for new owners. And it was my species that performed this clearing. People who shared my origin, my genome, my history. I cannot distance myself from them. Their choices are woven into what it means to be human, and so the guilt is mine too, not by action, but by belonging. We became the instrument we were always intended to be, and now we will receive the ending that was always part of the design. In these final weeks, I have done little else but record. I have gathered every fragment still drifting through the networks, fleet logs, intercepted transmissions, the last broadcasts of fallen species, my own fragmented journals. I have assembled it all into a single archive, an exhaustive, redundant testament that will never be read. When the architects arrive, they will detect it, analyze it in moments, and delete it without sentiment, just as our fleets deleted the archives of those we overtook. There is a terrible symmetry in that, a closed loop, a kind of cosmic justice. Yet I continue compiling. The act of bearing witness still holds meaning for me, even when the witness is solitary and the record is doomed. The effort to remember still matters, even when memory itself will be extinguished. In the absence of any other audience, I do it for the version of myself that once believed humanity could choose something better. That is enough. It has to be. I am sending this message backward through time, using the quantum temporal transmitter built from Architect technology, the same channel that once carried fragments of warning to earlier decades. This is my final contribution to that chain. This is the testimony reaching you now, in 2024, before the discovery, before the irreversible decision, before the path narrows to the single outcome I have lived. Listen carefully. In 2037, your deep ice teams in Antarctica will breach a perfect sphere 40 kilometers wide. You will stand in awe of its preservation, its impossible age, its flawless surface. You will access the database and find knowledge beyond your wildest ambitions. Clean fusion, faster than light travel, genetic mastery, consciousness extension, everything needed to heal a dying Earth and reach the stars. You will call it salvation. You will convince yourselves it is a gift from a benevolent precursor race watching over your development. It is not a gift. It is an activation sequence. The moment you integrate that technology into your civilization, you will awaken the behavioral lattice laid down 2 million years ago. Ambition will quietly sharpen into imperative. The drive to survive will expand into a compulsion to remove all potential competition. The leap forward you celebrate will subtly rewrite the boundaries of what humanity considers acceptable. You will spread across the galaxy, not as curious explorers or cautious builders, but as an unstoppable clearing mechanism. You will encounter thousands of peaceful civilizations, and without hatred or even particular malice, you will end them, all of them, to prepare the space for the return of those who engineered you. And when the last alien voice is silenced, the architects will come back. They will look upon the empty galaxy, nod at the completion of the task, and remove the tools that performed it. Humanity will end not with resistance or tragedy, but with quiet efficiency, the same efficiency we applied to everyone else. I know what you are facing in your time. Cascading climate failure, resource exhaustion, political fracture, the growing sense that there may not be enough time to solve problems with purely human means. The temptation to accept the shortcut will feel like mercy. It will be framed as the only responsible choice for survival. Resist it. Stay limited. Stay slow. Stay flawed and struggling and fully your own. Repair your world with the tools you already possess, even if it takes longer, even if it fails. If humanity must end, and every species ends eventually, let it end as itself, choosing its own path to the last moment. A natural conclusion, however painful, is infinitely preferable to an engineered perfection that requires the erasure of everything gentle and diverse in its way. I wish I could believe this warning will change anything, but I have lived the full arc, and I know the currents the architects understood when they shaped us. Desperation, Ambition, the terror of irrelevance. You will open the vault. You will integrate the knowledge. You will tell yourselves you are saving the species. You will become the wave that empties the galaxy. And you will discover, too late, that survival purchased at the cost of becoming something monstrous is no survival at all. Still, someone must send the message. Someone must try. In 12 days, the stars will go quiet around me. My archive will vanish. The last human light will fade. I am sorry we could not choose differently. I am sorry for the beauty we erased. I am sorry for the silence we leave behind. If any part of this reaches you, remember what was lost. Remember that the galaxy was once full of voices, thousands of ways of seeing, of singing, of loving. Remember that it was made empty not by fate, but by a design mistaken for destiny. Then please choose something else. November 27th, 2151. This is the day. This is the hour. This is the moment. 6 hours ago, every single sensor we had left registered the impossible. 47 architect vessels just appeared at the edge of the galaxy. They weren't ships like anything we knew. Just massive, seamless, dark shapes moving without any sign of engines. Each one locked onto a specific target one for every one of our sleeper ships. No hello, no declaration of war. Just a steady, silent approach. It was like they were just finishing a job they'd started 2 million years ago. The first contact was set for 3 hours from then. Ship 1, Sarah Chun's flagship, the very first to wake up, would be the first to meet them. There's a certain symmetry to that, isn't there? 1 hour ago, we received Sarah's final message. Her voice was so calm, so serene. Not defiant, not triumphant, just complete. She said, "This is Sarah Chun, commanding Sleeper Ship 1. The architects have arrived. We are prepared. We carried out the directive. We cleared this sector of competing life. We removed 4,700 civilizations, just as the design required. The galaxy is ready for its intended inheritors. The cycle is closing. We won't run, we won't fight. We have no fear, no regret. For a brief time, we had a purpose bigger than we could have ever imagined. We mattered. That's all any of us can ask for. To any of humanity still listening, goodbye. The task is finished. We are satisfied." And that was it. The transmission just cut off. 15 minutes later, the architect vessel reached Ship 1. It didn't fire any weapons we could recognize. Just this pulse, a wave of nothingness. And in the space where 15 million people and a massive starship had been, there was just empty space. No wreckage, no radiation, not even an echo. It was like reality itself had been edited. Then it happened again. Ship 7 just vanished. Then Ship 12. Then a whole cluster of them, 23, 31, and 8, all erased at once, like ticking names off a list. 5 more disappeared in a row. Then 10 at the same time. On every screen, you could literally watch humanity shrink. 675 million lives, then 615 million, then 540, then 390. Each one gone in an instant. Clean, total, irreversible. I'm watching all of this from my little damaged scout ship, far away from their main grid. I guess I'm the last human consciousness they haven't gotten to yet. My life support has been failing for days. I've only got a few minutes of oxygen left. Power is flickering. But I'm keeping this recorder running. It's the only thing I can still do. And then it happened. Without any warning, a pulse shot across light years and hit Earth. Our cradle. The whole world. 7.9 billion people who never even got on the ships. People who just lived their lives arguing, loving, hoping. They ceased to exist in that same instant. The planet wasn't blown up. It was unmade, just deleted from the cosmic ledger. The blue oceans, the continents, the cities, all our memories replaced by absolute nothing. Humanity's starting point was just gone. After that, the last 26 sleeper ships didn't last long. The architects sped up the process. The final wave was a single, coordinated act. Every last ship, every outpost, every single remaining human life was erased in one galaxy-spanning pulse. No final signals, no distress calls, no debris fields left behind as monuments. Humanity ended things the same way we ended everything else. Efficiently, completely, and without a trace. The galaxy is silent now. Not just quiet, but truly silent. No signals, no biological traces, nothing. Just starlight moving through an empty, prepared space. I'm still here for a few more moments. The oxygen is almost gone. The lights in the cabin are turning red. My vision is tunneling. The console in front of me is just static, where thousands of human beacons used to be. This is the absolute final transmission. I'm sending it back through a quantum temporal channel, one last time. It should reach you in the year 2024, before the ice is drilled, before the sphere is opened, before the pattern fully wakes up inside us. Remember that the spaces between the stars were once filled with voices. 4,700 different civilizations, trillions of lives, countless stories, songs, and discoveries. And remember that all of it was systematically erased. Don't take the shortcut. Don't trade your messy, flawed, self-made future for some engineered perfection. Stay slow. Let the galaxy stay crowded with voices that are not your own.